Everyone, Zeddy here again today with another March of the Lich King review, and we have Priest cards, a game-changing Shadow Priest legendary. Yeah, it's a ridiculous card. It really is. Not clickbait on that one. We'll go over that as well as a neutral card. I think I missed it. Got added to the card library. We'll go over that as well. A game-changing giveaway is going on. Is that a thing? I don't know. Anyways, we're giving away 3 mega bundles out of my pocket, 2 regular pre-orders. All you have to do, like, comment in the video description below. Subscribe to the channel. We're at 60.1 thousand subscribers, which is crazy. If we hit 61,000, we'll add another mega bundle. 62,000, another mega bundle. Hit that sub button, make me go broke. Before we get into the priest cards, well, let's take a look at this card. I'm pretty sure I missed it. It was just literally out of the card library last night. If I didn't, I've already talked about it, I apologize, but it's a relevant neutral card. It's a 2-mana 2/3 undead minion bone flinger. Has battle cry. If a friendly undead died after your last turn, deal 2 damage. We keep seeing SI7 agent being power crept out of the game. The 3-mana 3/3 rogue card that combos and deals 2 damage. And I think this is like, well, we have a 1-drop undead that deals 2 damage. We have a 2-drop undead that deals 2 damage, and this is pretty good. I feel like it could go into like an unholy Death Knight. Any deck that reliably runs, like, I mean, just any Death Knight deck, like, it's just good with the hero power. It's 2-mana 2/3, deal 2 damage. It's fine. I'm sure it'll see a home. And yeah, I feel like it's a Death Knight card, maybe with all the druid stuff going on, with all the undead, especially with their payoff legendary. That's just something that can get buffed up and then sacrificed later, buff up your board. So I think it's a decent card. 3 out of 5 in standard, 3 out of 5 in wild, I guess, because Death Knight I think will be relevant in wild. I mean, if Demon Hunter was any sign back in the day, I could see that happening. But let's take a look at the priest cards. There is 2 priest cards. We got this one. This is not the one that's game changing, but it's pretty good. This is, well, actually it's really good. It's a 1-mana 1/2 Crystal Smith Cultist. So not great. However, if you're holding a shadow spell, gain +1/+1. It's a 1-mana 2/3 on turn 1, and all you need is a shadow spell. And if you're playing Shadow Priest, it's probably going to happen. You have like Thrive in the Shadows. In Wild, you have Shadow Visions and Raise Dead. There's just a lot of shadow spells, and the chances of you having this +1 on turn 1 really high. And at the end of the day, if you're, I guess a 1-mana 1/2 isn't fantastic, but don't forget Dark Bishop Benedictus is still in standard. Shadow Priest is you know, it's not the best deck in the world, but it's never that far off. And maybe a control variant could work. A hint at the legendary we're going to look at. But in wild, Shadow Priest is a really strong aggro deck, and they like 1-drops. They like 1-mana 2/3s, I would think. And the only issue with the wild Shadow Priest, the aggro variant, not Reno Shadow Priest, which is another variant that does well, that runs Renethal and all of that. The only downside for the aggro variant, they don't run a ton of shadow spells. They run like Mind Blast, Shadow Visions, I think Raise Dead, and maybe Thrive in the Shadows. But I think it's just the 3 I mentioned. I think they only really run the 3. They want to get that burn. They want to get the reload with the Raise Dead, and then they get value with the Shadow Visions, because they could get like 4 Mind Blasts in theory in one game for 20+ damage. So in wild, I don't know if you're consistently hitting in the aggro variants, but in the control variants, you're probably hitting it a lot more reliably because you run a lot of shadow spells. So this could be a 1-of just in Shadow Priest to control the board. They run like Defias Leper, the 2-mana 3/2 pirate. If you're holding a shadow spell, deal 2 damage just for that, you know, to control the board early. That's literally it. This could be another tool. And again, in standard, I just think it's a really solid card. It's a 1-mana 2/3. As long as you're running like a decent amount of shadow spells, why not run this? It's very good, really solid. It's just Shadow Priest or the Shadow variants haven't been like super strong in standard, but I'm still gonna give this a 4 out of 5 in standard, a 4 out of 5 in wild, because it's a 1-mana 2/3. And of course, if you have Bran, it could be a 3/4, which is just broken, absolutely broken, but really good card. But that's not the card we're here to talk about. The card we're here to talk about, we're gonna go to this. Do I have this image? Well, I'll go to this one. We'll go to this one. It's a little bit bigger. Sister Svalna. Again, I don't know how to pronounce these things. I'm terrible. I don't have Warcraft lore. We're gonna go with what we got. That's bad Canadian diction. Sister Svalna. It is a 6 mana, 6/6 undead battle cry permanently, unless I guess it gets Theotard, I would imagine, or discarded possibly by that warrior epic, right? That should work. Add a Vision of Darkness to your hand. Believe this is the first time we've ever seen a spell permanently be added. There's like the thing with the rogue Death Knight that would like add at the beginning of your turn like a shadow copy of a card. That's the only thing I can really think of, and that was like a hero power putting it there. This just stays there. You could like turn in whatever hero you want. And what's a Vision of Darkness? It is a 3 mana spell, so you have to spend 3 mana, which is relatively expensive for what you're getting, but it's a permanent discover a shadow spell. You permanently discover a spell from your deck every single turn. It's not a copy, so it's not more value, but it's effectively 3 mana tutor out a spell every turn. I'm surprised it's not 2. I feel like that's the only thing that holds this card back from being completely insane. But you play this, you're just going to be drawing a card like every turn, thinning your deck, getting value, getting removal, getting burn. That's just pretty damn solid. And in Wild, I feel like this is so good in like Reno Shadow Priest, where you just get through your deck and get like your win cons and get your thief cards and all of that. It's pretty nuts. It's a lot of fuel. I don't think it goes into like, you know, Dark Bishop Benedictus if you're looking at like the aggro variant. I don't think you're going with that with this, but even there, it kind of works like a really, I guess, like expensive Allodeath where you're like cycling through your Mind Blasts and your Raised Deads and all of that. It's way too slow for an aggro list, but for like a controlling value-based, like just you want to cycle and get pump in those shadow spells, it's pretty nuts. It's serious fuel. I don't know how good it is, but I feel like it's a game changer for Shadow Priest. I feel like Shadow Priest is going to be back in a big way just because these first 2 cards are so strong. Like you have a 1 mana 2/3, and then you have this legendary that just is gas. The only issue, again, like I said, a 3 mana spell that it's 3 mana. We saw that with Tavish's hero power, the 3 mana Amble Companion. It's expensive. 3 mana is expensive when you're trying to weave in drawing that spell and using it and all of that. It's the only thing holding it back. I'm surprised it's 3, but regardless, I still think it's a really strong card, but only in these slower Shadow Priest decks in Standard and Wild. So for that reason, I'm gonna give it a 4. I still think it's ridiculous in its like infinite cycle ability. I'm gonna give 4 in Standard, 4 in Wild. I'm probably grossly overrating this, but I just feel like, I don't know. I see a ton of value. I see a ton of possible cycle for like a deck that doesn't care about value and just wants to get through their deck. I just see that as potentially strong, potentially game-changing, and just a really, really good card. So those are the Priest cards so far, and there will be 2 more batches of reveals later today. I may do 1 or 2 videos. We'll see. The next one is at noon Pacific, my time, so in like 5 hours, so stay tuned for that. And well, Sister Sylvana? I don't know. Looks like a pretty crazy Priest card, but I'll never play it. Because like I never play Priest, right? Anyways, if you enjoyed the video, please like and subscribe. Have a great day and stay salty, my friends.